I will explain about introduction. First, the problem. The traditional model of global trade focused purely on low cost and just-in-time shipping is breaking down due to aggressive trade tariff and rising protectionism. The issue. This trade barrier combined with sudden logistic choke point disruption create direct financial shock that inflate raw material expenses and cause several operational delays for MNC. Last, the solution is to survive. Multinational corporations must shift from legacy manual processes to digital supply chain adoption using predictive tools to transform operational resilience into a competitive advantage. Second is problem statement. First, the cost shock. Global trade tariff has increased producer costs, reducing export sustainability and weakening long-term innovation incentives. Second is operational strains. Supply chain disruption forced MNC into a expensive spot market, causing currency risk, shortage, and lower investor confidence. Third is technology gap. Although digital tools improve visibility, high cost and nuclear strategies slow adoption, leaving firms vulnerable to market shocks. Next is research objective and research question. For the research objective is this study aims to examine the relationship between global trade tariff, supply chain disruption, and digital supply chain adoption with business competitiveness among multinational companies. The research question focuses on whether the factors have significant impact on business competitiveness, especially how tariff, supply chain challenge, and digital adoption influence the performance of multinational companies. Literature review. We got 3 overview of business competitiveness among MNC. First is dynamic resilience. Business competitiveness among MNC is no longer just about international trade layouts or localized cost minimization. Second, the model target. It is now heavily defined by dynamic resilience, the specific capacity to withstand sudden regulatory friction and roads around logistically blocked channels. Third, asset protection. True competitiveness relies on an organization's ability to absorb macro-environmental shock without eroding core capital reserve. Then we got dependent variable and independent variable. For dependent variable is definition of business competitiveness, and independent variable is definition of global trade tariff, and definition of supply chain disruption. For the theoretical framework, this research proposed that global trade tariff, supply chain disruption, and digital supply chain adoption are the main factors that influence business competitiveness among multinational companies. The hypothesis suggests that there is a significant relationship between these 3 variables and business competitiveness. For the discussion, trade tariff and supply chain disruption increase costs and reduce business performance. Traditional methods such as stock billing are less effective because they create higher costs and delays. Therefore, digital supply chain adoption is important because it helps companies improve forecasting, respond faster, and manage disruption more effectively. For the conclusion, the traditional supply chains are no longer enough due to global uncertainties. Companies need digital supply chain solutions to improve flexibility, reduce risk, maintain competitiveness.